Welcome back to Mountain Connections. I'm very excited to have Holly Semanoff here in studio. She's a very successful fitness competitor, and she's recently written a book about yoga. It's a workbook that everyone can use and utilize and get lots of health and wellness tips from. And here today, she is joining us on the couch. Thanks, Holly, for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So it's been a couple years since you've been here in studio. We interviewed you then about your fitness competitions, and things have changed for you.
Oh yeah, big time. Well, I was competing on that circus for the Arnold Schwarzenegger fitness competitions, but a lot of my life, like literally 10 years of my life, has been teaching yoga as well, yoga, meditation, and my passion is what's called pranayama in yoga, or the breath. It's conscious breathing. So that's what I have literally been writing and focusing on, and that what has basically led to this creation of my book that finally came out 2 months ago, this baby. For 10 years I've been working on creating this, so that's what I've been up to, is releasing this book.
Well, what made you decide to create this book? You mentioned that you've been doing yoga for as long as you've been involved in fitness.
Yeah.
How did those two correlate, and how did it result in this?
It's been 15 years that I have been teaching yoga, and that's when I first got started into fitness competitions. Really fallen into the fitness competition, so I just started to do it. But what has really led to the creation of this book is there's so much information out there, and we're in a world that so much information is right at your fingertips. And so I've had a lot of time, 15 years, kind of in the yoga meditation world. And so for me personally, I love to teach what I've experienced myself. So I'll experience something and I'm like, oh, this worked for me, this worked for me. That didn't really work for me. So everything I've placed into this book is what has really worked for me, just to create a balance between body, of course, because I'm a very physical being, and then mind and soul. And especially being a mom too, learning to balance everything, because I love to create, I love to be in the world, I love to experience everything, but being a mom too, it's like, okay, now we gotta have balance with this. So this has really created balance in my life, is the conscious breathing, because breath is so powerful, because it's something we have constantly right here on our lips, and it's something we do unconsciously, and yet with conscious awareness, shifting our breath can completely shift our mental state and physiologically our body. So that's why it's so powerful, and that's what I've used to bring me into the moment. But what I've recognized is when I'm in the moment, then I stay balanced, because I'm not thinking about this outside of this moment. I'm not thinking about this outside of this moment. I can actually be present where I'm at, and what has been my anchor has been conscious breathing. It's been breath. As simple as it seems, it's usually always that simple.
It's so important, though.
Yes.
Let's dig into your book.
Okay,
How is
awesome.
it set up, and how can people use it to the best of its abilities?
This is a literal workbook, and how I've created it, in each chapter I'll give you information, and I basically talk to your left brain. So the left brain loves information. It likes to see the logic, even the science and things. So I talk about the science of breath, and then we go into the actual right brain, which is more experiential. Now I have this information, now let me experience it. And the experience I lead through meditation. So I've actually recorded 24 guided meditations and experiences, so people can go on and download it. So you receive information, and then you have an experience of that information you just received. And then after that, it's writing. So it's where you then integrate. It's like, wow, here was my experience from all this information I received, but also what I experienced. And that's the integration process. That's how I love to teach. I love to talk to your left brain, because I do like the logic part of it. And now with all the science coming out, it kind of backs up what yogi and yogi's been saying for like 5,000 years. And so it's kind of fun to be alive right now, because it's like, oh yay, like I experienced it, but let me explain it to you. But now we're kind of getting a little bit more of that. So it has a balance there. I'm always about balance. It's like, yay, I love it, to experience and to share like what I do experience as far as like energy and awareness. And it's cool to be able to then, okay, let me actually talk to you about it and describe it to you and give you the capacity to have this same experience. So, yeah.
So you practice it, you experience it, and then you reflect back on that experience.
Yeah, exactly. And it all leads up to a very powerful meditation. And again, I'm a physical person. Anyone who looks into what I do, you know, I've been a professional fitness competitor. I'm a physical person. And what's interesting with meditation, there's actually lots of different pathways you can take it. Most people think meditation, I'm going to sit, I'm going to clear my mind. Oh, stop talking. Clear my mind. Stop talking. So using your breath is an easy way to actually drop into meditation. So you're not fighting yourself. You just fall into it because you use your body in a way to literally clear you and to drop you into a meditative state. And in that meditative state, you know, people receive all sorts of whatever their intuition, their guidance, their sixth sense, or just calm or like silence for a moment to be like, oh, all right. When I personally drop into a state where I'm just connected and I'm kind of more in meditation, you really begin to see the infinite of just how big everything is, and then these little finite things that are so nagging are like, oh, that's kind of not really as big of a deal as I thought it was. And that's really a surrendering. It's like a release of like, oh my gosh, it's not that serious. Like, it's not that big of a deal.
Right. So many benefits from meditation, from mindfulness that's been proven. I've been following you on social media since you came on our show a couple years ago, and I've been very impressed with how you have shifted gears a little bit, but you also are inspiring in a way that's not envious, if that makes sense.
Yes.
How have you shifted that perspective?
I love people. I love seeing people succeed. It's like one of my favorite things because everyone has this unique genius about them. Like everyone has something great to give that no one else can do. And as far as I love to inspire by just honestly being authentic and being me, where it's like, you know what, I am who I am. And I've noticed people who just show up authentically, no matter who they are, they just have this light about them. Like whatever they're doing, if they're just being authentic, it's like, wow, they're inspiring. So someone being authentic is inspiring to me. I love it because I'm like, I see you. That's what it is. It's like, oh my gosh, I see you and I see your genius because everyone is so unique and they have such a genius about them. But you really can't claim your genius unless you're authentic because it's who you are.
Absolutely. It's so easy to tell when someone isn't being authentic, but you definitely give that vibe, that motivation and inspiring for individuals. Where can we get your book and find out more information about you?
So my book is actually on my website. It's bodyoflight.com, and it's just in the shop. And I have lots of workshops and retreats there as well that I go around and I teach. So that's where you can get it right now. I did the whole self-published route, which has been super fun. It's been really amazing to write a book. I think with anything in life, it's like you don't really know until you do it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I have so much respect now for authors and people who've like written books. So I was like, wow, this is so much work, but it's amazing. I mean, it's been a whole 10-year experience for this. And then once I got this first one out, then I have a bunch of other ones that are on the way coming out.
Exciting.
But it's just taking that first step, you know, just following your heart, like being authentic with you and your genius and just go for it.
Absolutely. Well, thanks so much, Holly, for coming on, for being your true authentic self and for inspiring so many people to find that peace, find that meditation, that mindfulness, and just feel better overall. So thanks for being here and good luck with the next editions. It's exciting.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm excited.
All right, check out Holly Semanoff online. Follow her on social media. Body of Light is her website. You can get her book and find out all about everything she is doing, and trust me, you'll feel inspired. We have more Mountain Connections coming up right after this.